Hello ladies, we are going to practice writing equations today. So basically we're translating words into mathematics. Please get out the handout you were given in class that contains page 37 and 38, as well as a page to take notes upon. So the first thing we're going to do is work on basic translation. Look for keywords to help yourself out. Is equal to, equals, total. All of these things could mean equal. Also remember basic words such as sum. We have difference, quotient, product. You definitely want to know those. So if you're unsure of those terms, create some flashcards to help yourself out. Okay, let's go ahead and start with a couple of examples. So for example, let's say we have 18 is 6 less than 4 times a number. We're going to break everything down. The first thing I would like you to do is to define a variable. What don't you know? What are you missing? In this case, we don't know the number, so let's set n equal to that missing number. Then we have a couple of other things here. We see the word is. I see 4 times. That means multiplication. I see less than, which is subtraction, and I have some numbers. So let me just start with 18 is. 18 is equal to. There's my equal sign right there. So 6 less than. Let's focus on this. If I had $6 less than you and you had $20, would you do 20 minus 6 or 6 minus 20? Well, in order for it to make sense, we would do 20 minus 6. So whenever you see 6 less than, we are actually going to be subtracting 6 from whatever comes next. That would work with anything. 8 less than would be minus 8. 10 less than is minus 10. So please make sure that you're not starting with the 6. So this is 6 less than what? Well, 4 times a number. So 18 is 6 less than 4 times a number. Here we have the equation. We'll practice solving these as well, but you've had that practice before. I'd like to focus tonight on writing these equations. Okay, so let's take a look at one more example. Let's say we have 6 more than twice a number is negative 20 and 4/10. Okay, so again, let's look for some keywords. Here I see more than, that's addition. I see the number 6. Twice a number. Well, I don't know the number, but I know to find twice of something, I need to multiply by 2 is equal to negative 20.4. So let's go ahead and define our variable. N equals number. This one's a little bit more straightforward. 6 more than twice a number is negative 20.4. Okay, let's take a look now at the handout that you were given. We'll start on page 38. And let's go through the second example together. So this is number 2. So the quotient of a number and negative 9 increased by 10 is 11. Quotient. This means division. I will always write my division using a fraction bar. The quotient of a number, well, let's define that. N equals my missing number. So the quotient of a number and negative 9. There we go. I've set that division up. Then we have increased by. Well, that means addition. To be increased by something is to add. We're increasing by 10, and this is equal to 11. So there we go. We now have our equation. Let's take a look at another one on this page. How about number 7? The difference between 12 and 10 times a number is negative 28. So here, difference, we're talking subtraction. What are we subtracting? 12 and 10 times a number. Let's define a variable. I'm always going to use n. N is my number. So the difference between 12 and 10 times a number is negative 28. Note that with this subtraction, we just set it up in the order that we read the numbers and the words. So the difference between 12, the 12 comes first, and 10 times the number, minus 10n. That's different from the example that we were looking at before that used the words less than. Let's take a look at some real-life situations here. So go to the bottom of the page, please, at number 12. Let's check this out. Here we have the total cost of a suit and 4 ties is $292. I'm going to stop there for a moment just so I can write that out. So the total cost of a suit, so total cost means I'm adding, plus 4 ties equals $292. Okay. The suit cost $200. Well, they just gave us that amount, so let's write that in. And then they tell us that each tie cost the same amount. Okay, find the cost of one tie. Well, I am going to set my variable t equal to the cost of one tie because that's what I'm trying to find. And my equation is almost already written itself. I already know that the suit costs $200, and here, let's just translate this. 4 ties. Well, if each of them cost t, I am going to multiply t by 4, and after I add that to 200, I should get a total of $292. We can go ahead and solve this one to figure out the cost of the tie. Let us balance the equation by subtracting 200 from each side. I get 4t is equal to $92. Then I'm going to divide by 4 so that I can isolate t. Let me do the math on the side. I have now found that each tie costs $23. Okay. Let's take a look at the next example. This one's a little bit trickier. So this is number 13. Mary's sister is 7 years older than Mary. Their combined ages add up to 35. How old is Mary? Well, we don't know how old Mary is, so let's set a variable equal to Mary's age. Let's use m. So m equals Mary's age. Let's go back to that first sentence. It says Mary's sister is 7 years older than Mary. Well, if Mary is m, then her sister is going to be 7 years older, which would represent m plus 7. So this is Mary's sister's age. Here's where defining variables or expressions is very helpful. It allows you to keep everything straight. So we have Mary's age is m, Mary's sister's age is m plus 7. Their combined ages, so when we combine, that means we're adding everything all together. Combined ages add up to 35. So we need to add Mary's age, m, plus Mary's sister's age, which is m plus 7. It should add up to 35. Please note that you have to write m twice because, again, there's Mary's age and here's her sister's age. Now I can simplify. Let me put a 1 in front of these lone variables. I get 2m plus 7 equaling 35. There's my equation. Then I can balance. I can subtract 7 from each side. I get 2m is equal to 28. I can then divide by 2, and m is equal to 14. Now what's m again? That's Mary's age. So Mary is 14 years old. They didn't ask us, but we could figure out Mary's sister's age if we wanted to. If we know that Mary is 14, we could take that 14 and add 7 to it to get Mary's sister's age. So 14 plus 7 would be 21. So Mary's sister is 21. And if we added up 14 plus 21, we do in fact get 35, so it checks. Please know that you don't have to figure this out, but depending on the question asked, you may need to. So I just wanted to point that out, that we had enough information to figure out Mary's sister's age. Let's take a look now at the bottom of page 37. And I'd like you to try number 5 on your own. So hit pause, work through the problem, and unpause when you're ready to get the solution. Okay, so number 5. Bottom of page 37. Maya's brother was 12 when she was born. The sum of their ages is 22. Find their ages. Well, we don't know how old Maya is, so let's start there. Let's say Maya is A years old. So Maya is A years old. And her brother was 12 when she was born, so he's older by 12 years. So this is Maya's brother's age. Okay, it says the sum of their ages is 22. So I'm going to add Maya's age to her brother's age, and it should equal 22. I can simplify by adding the like terms, and there's my equation. When I balance, I find that A equals 5 years old. Well, what does A represent? That's Maya's age. Okay, so Maya is 5. If I want to find out her brother's age, like the problem before, I just need to add 12 to 5. That would give me 17. So Maya's brother is 17. Let's do one more together. Again, it's just good to see all different types of examples. So how about we look at number 2? It's always good to save money. So John has $825 in his savings account. He has decided to deposit $65 per month until he has a total of $1,800. In how many months will this occur? Well, there we go. M equals number of months, because we don't know yet. So there's my variable. Now we want to look for that total. He wants a total of $1,800. So that total is going to be by itself on one side of the equation. He already has some money in the account. So let's see, he has $825. And what's he going to be doing to that account? He's going to be adding money into the account. Let's see, it's going to be $65 per month. So $65 for every month, because after 1 month he's just put in 65. After 2 months I'd have to do 2 times 65. After 3 months it's 3 times 65. So that's why it's multiplication. This gives us our equation. We can then solve and balance this. We can start by subtracting 825. And I'm not going to work all through the math right now, but the next step would be to divide by 65. And we will get M equaling 15 months. So it will take him a little bit more than a year. Okay, we will practice a lot more of these in class tomorrow. I will see you then. Thanks. Bye.